Hi, this is Kathy Weymouth from Tuna Temple, and this is part two in a short series where I'm talking about brain rewiring as a method to help with chronic illnesses. Now, if you didn't watch the video I recorded last week, I suggest you stop this one and go back and watch that because that was that was more like an introduction. And that was posted on Friday, April 5th, 2024. Friday, April 5th, 2024. Okay. That's on YouTube. Now, so this topic is really appealing to me because I've struggled with a chronic illness for quite a while, for over, I would say at least 30 years of being fatigued in a way that's just abnormal for most adults. And it has limited me to be able to working only full part-time, as well as having other just negative consequences of being tired a lot. So any kind of chronic illness, such as fatigue or mental brain fog or depression and anxiety or pain-related illnesses, chronic fatigues being those that have been going on for quite a while and that are not life-threatening, but they're persistent and they may come and go, but they just really hang on. And I know that a lot of us have tried several protocols. We've tried things like going to the doctor, having lab work done, and going to having test upon test, and having even some natural solutions, trying different herbs and different supplements, and I've definitely done a lot of supplements, for example. Now, what is going on? What is actually going on here in the life of someone who has a chronic illness, who has tried lots of protocols, who has given this topic a lot of attention? What is going on? Well, it's likely if the protocols haven't been helping, apparently I am learning that it is likely that your brain is stuck in a stress mode. And this stress mode has come about because of multiple stresses that have occurred in your life that have added up. And let's just talk about your stress response for a second. So we have naturally built into us, this is a God-given ability that we have to respond to something that could be potentially dangerous. Okay, so my sister and I were walking in the woods a few years back, way in the woods, like on a trail, but way far from any civilization, and we could hear crunching of leaves, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? What is coming? That sounds pretty heavy. And it was a black bear. So and so the flight response kicks in, and it's meant to protect you. And so I actually was quite afraid, which surprised me because at that point I didn't think that things like that frightened me as much as they do other people. But being so far away from any kind of escape was quite frightening. Okay, so that's a natural response. It's called the fight or flight response, fight, flight, or freeze. Now there's actually a fourth one, fawn. And these responses of the fight or flight is so that you can deal with danger and triggers that come that are real threats. And so what happens is your adrenal glands start to pump out some specific hormones. Adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol, things get pumped out to help you deal in the moment quickly without having to think. So it's bypassing your thinking. It's a very quick response. Okay, so that's good. It's a reflex. That's a good thing. But the problem is that some of us have had multiple stresses upon stresses upon stresses, maybe living in stress or working in stress, or the stress of having constant pain. I'm sorry, but that is really stressful when you wake up every day with constant pain. And it wears on you. So some people apparently have gotten stuck in a stress response so that anything that comes along is a trigger when normally it shouldn't have been. I think I talked about this in the last video. So what happens with a stuck stress response is that you start to have trickling down effects of illnesses, and they can become chronic. And so what do we usually do? We go to the doctor, we go to the naturopath, we try to find solutions. And a lot of the solutions that we try are external, like we're going to take something into our body to help us, or we are going to go through a series of external testing, and we are trying to find a solution, and we're researching and whatever. But apparently people are discovering that, and there's data to prove this, that it's more important, or a foundational root thing, if the external protocols have not helped, it's likely that what you need is internal protocol. And that protocol is rewiring your brain. And when you go through the process of diligently rewiring your brain, then you start to see your stress response reduce, and then you start to see the trickle-down effect of your illnesses starting to correct themselves and diminish. Okay, so very exciting stuff. And I just want to really encourage you that if you have a chronic illness, that you can have some hope. And it may be time for you to look at something else besides the external protocols that you have been doing. And I just want to give credit to the people who I've learned this from. It's Brooklyn and Nick Hanna from a Christian organization called Limbic System Rewire. And if you want to find out more about their program, they're starting up right now, this program to run for the next 4 months, where it helps you in strategies to rewire your brain. And a lot of the rewiring that needs to be done is actually your thought life. One of the things I learned that I didn't know before is how beneficial it is to not think about your symptoms, not research your symptoms, not dwell on your symptoms, not talk about your symptoms, because it is true that whatever you focus on becomes bigger and becomes larger in your life. So if you're focusing on your chronic illness and the symptoms and the protocol and the research and all the stuff that goes into trying to find an answer, then this is actually causing your brain to be stuck. So that makes sense to me. I did start my career with a biology degree. So this brain information that I'm just now learning about the limbic system and the opportunity to rewire your brain, it's logical and it makes a lot of sense. Plus, there's a lot of data and evidence of people that are doing these protocols, a new protocol of rewiring the brain. People are actually getting results. And that's what's really exciting. So I'm going to give you some strategies in next week's video, so come back and check in a week's time. So today is the 11th, I think, of April, so I'll be posting soon, and then it'll be probably the 18th, I'm thinking, 17th or 18th of April, 2024, that I'm going to give you some strategies for rewiring the brain from what I am learning, okay? And I have a link in the description below to the Limbic System Rewire program, so I just want to really give them credit for all that I'm learning. I'm so grateful for learning this, and this was a free challenge that they had on Facebook, and I'm just so thankful. Okay, I'll see you again next week for some strategies. Okay, bye. Kathy Weymouth from tunethetemple.com.